Well, what do we have here? I'm in a little condo, and see the upper cabinets up there? We've got to do something about that. Those are so high up there. And so the thought was to lower them down. And I wanted to kind of review this little project and see. Let me get over there and show you. I mean, okay, yes, I can reach the bottom shelf comfortably. The top one, just this edge, but nothing back in there, nothing up at the top. You'd have to be Wilt Chamberlain to utilize these cabinets properly. Now, granted, if you have a little step ladder, you could take that out, but this kitchen is really small, and you really want to get the step ladder out every single time to get something on the second shelf. So here's what I wanted to propose. And if you've been watching my channel, you know that maybe over a year ago I painted in here, and I was telling you then what I thought I would do with these cabinets. But you know, that's been a while ago, and you probably don't remember it, but I want to lower these cabinets down. Now, each one of these cabinets is a separate cabinet. See, that one to the far right, stops from here to here. The next one goes from here to here, from here to there, and then the one up above, the refrigerator. The thought is to lower these down, and you can do this project. What you have to do, what I would recommend, is to take these doors off, take the interior shelves out, so all you have is the outside of it, you know, the whole box. That way it's going to make it a lot lighter. If you have two people here, you might be able to do it the other way, but you know, if you tilt it, then these swing out and the shelves get all messed up. So just, you know, take everything down, then we can take this one apart, unscrew this one from the wall, the next one from the wall, and all that. Now, here's another interesting thing. You see, we got a gap up against that wall right there, maybe 2.5 inches. Now look over there, there's about a 3 or 4 inch gap over there, and see right where that joint is, where that cabinet is. I wish, right there, it's hanging over the refrigerator by about 1 inch. I wish the refrigerator was off to the left a little bit so this one could come straight down. Now, in fact, this refrigerator could be pushed against the wall over there. There's about a 3 inch gap, but I don't really want to do that, because then you know, you're going to start dropping things right next to the refrigerator, right in that gap right there. You know what I mean? So I want to keep that tight. Plus, over here is where they keep the step stool, right up against the wall there. I want to maintain that. So the idea is all of these have to be disconnected, and see, we're going to shift this over to the right at least 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches comfortably. That way, that last one, we can slip that one down lower, right? And then what we'll have to do is we'll have to still disconnect the one up above the refrigerator. We're going to have to slide that over to the right 1 inch to 1.5 inches, making the gap over here a little bit bigger. But I don't mind that gap. That's way in the corner of the kitchenette, and you don't really see that as much. You know, there's a black hole in there anyways. What difference does it make if that hole is another 1.5 inches? Do you see what I mean? And here's the quandary though. We've got that blender there, and normally in residential you have about 18-inch gap from the counter on up to the bottom of the upper cabinets. Well, if I make it only 18 inches, then this isn't going to slip down through there. I think I'm going to make it 20 inches, and this is about 20.5, 21. So I can take this, flip it upside down. That can still be slid in there. And then when they use the blender, they can pull the blender out and use it, because the cabinet's going to be down lower, right? They can just pull the blender out, use it, and then clean up and then slide it up against the wall. But the funny thing, and it's not very funny, but see, these were existing cabinets. Now normally you do not put an upper cabinet that low across where the stove is. You know, generally you have an exhaust fan there, a microwave with an exhaust on there, something like that, and a longer kitchen area. But they decided, whoever was here before decided, hey, let's just put some shelves in there, some storage shelves, because the kitchen, like I say, it's not very big. You know, this is the extent of it, and there's really not much shelving there. Here's another little area over here. The thought with that was to put a little dishwasher there that goes right up against the bathroom sink on the other side. You could slip a dishwasher in there later on down the road, let's say, and maybe raise those shelves and still have enough room for the microwave up there and all that. Okay, and then this is just a little pantry area right there. So very small. So the more cabinets, the better. So I'm hem-hawing about what to do, because see, the cabinets really don't line up through there. If that middle one was straight in front of that stove, maybe I could leave that one up high and drop the other ones down low. But, you know, that's all. If everything was brand new, that's probably what would happen. But that's not the case, is it? And more times than not, with a small little condo, they're not going to be cooking, you know, steamy stuff on here all the time. If they do a little bit, okay, they do a little bit. So I'm going to lower these down to 20 inches, and that way it'll be more able to utilize that storage up there that you can reach, and at least use the bottom shelf of those upper cabinets and the middle shelf. The top shelf would be for storage and stuff. And then what's going to happen is there's going to be about a 10-inch gap up at the top. That's going to be nice, because the other thing I'm going to do is right where that plug is. See that electrical outlet? That's a duplex electrical outlet. What I'm going to put next to that, I'm going to take that out of the wall, and I'm going to put a cut-in 2-gang box. 2-gang box meaning enough room for 2 different locations there. One's going to be for that outlet, the existing outlet. Then I'm going to put in a dimmer switch next to it in a double gang box. It's called a double gang or a 2-gang box. And I'll put a dimmer on it. Then I'm going to fish a wire from there, and it's going to go up to the top of those upper cabinets, because upper cabinets are going to be 10 inches off the top now. And I'm going to put rope lighting up there, string it all the way along there, so at night you can just turn the dimmer on, the light switch, and you can make it bright or medium or just low. Gives you a little bit of ambiance, you know. Small little condo, give it a little bit more added ambiance. So, you know, you put some small plants up there, maybe some miniature pots now and again, just different little knick-knack things up there. Not make it too busy, just a few choice items, and then wrap the rope lighting around there. And that's what I'm going to do. That's a good little project for you. If you got a nice gap at the top of your cabinets, think about doing something like that. Now see, here's another thing that I'm going to do. See that stuff right there? That's going to be used for the backsplash. Let me lift that up for you. That's going to go up against the wall. Isn't that going to look nice? Right up there. And so obviously all the green wall is going to be covered now. That's going to be down 20 inches. And I had to measure all that because I wanted to make sure that I didn't really have to cut any of that. So I measured it and made sure that I can put it up against the wall without cutting the top strip or something. And see, this is going to go up here like that, right down. There's a little backsplash, a granite backsplash about 4 inches, and then this will go here, and then I can cut some off of other sheets and go from here up to 20 inches, which is another 4 inches or whatever. And I'll still have to cut around the new light switch and that plug, but that's the extent of the cutting that's going to have to be done. Everything else is going to be full on pieces. So I'm going to like that. And if I have enough, I think I have enough to do this little sidewall right here too. You know, see where that light switch is? Maybe come out flush. Let's see. I'll probably come from that wall on up to the trim of the window. You know, from there over and fit them in there. Have to go around that little light switch. And that would kind of tie in that corner. That's if I have enough. If I don't have enough, then obviously it's just going to be that back wall. And then up above the cabinets, you know, 10-inch space. You're probably going to see up there, so yes, I'm going to have to paint that again too, because, you know, wherever things get moved, there's no paint back there. So I'm not going to have to worry over here. See, that cabinet's going to end up going to the right a little bit, but down lower. And then there's going to be an additional gap over there above the refrigerator, so I'll have to probably squeeze in there and paint in there too. So man, I've got lots of little things going on in this, just on this one particular wall. And I'm going to be making quite a few videos on this. And you stay tuned. You're going to learn how to do it as well.